Hi, welcome to Family Wealth Planning Partners. I'm Brian Ramsey, and this is the final week of a three-part series we've done around life insurance. Now, week one, we looked at term insurance, or really the need for sort of temporary coverage. Week two, we looked at the need for permanent coverage, meaning coverage you would need throughout your lifetime no matter how long you lived. And then week three, this week, we're looking at a hybrid product. Before we get into that, I want to make sure that we recap the last 2 weeks because it's still the same scenario, even if you're considering this hybrid product we're going to talk about today. And that is, make sure, I can't stress it enough, make sure that if you're shopping insurance, life insurance, or you're trying to determine if you even need life insurance, make sure you're walking through these 3 steps. Number one, make sure you understand what your goals and objectives are. 2, determine the amount of coverage based on the needs that you determine you want to cover. And then 3, look at what type product is going to be the best fit for your situation. Now, let's get into today's topic, which is this hybrid product. It's pretty cool, but we're going to walk through a real case scenario that just happened a couple of weeks ago. We've talked about this product for a couple of years now, but this is one where we literally just did this with a client, so we thought we would use her as an example. Now, this client came to us and said, hey, I've got a life insurance need. She's a business owner. She wanted to take care of a couple of employees should something happen to her. But what she wanted the money to do was to be provided to them so that they could purchase the shares from her estate, the percent that they own of her company. So we identified in our 3-step process that we needed $1 million of life insurance coverage. So that's what we targeted. Number 2, she said, hey, I've got excess cash flow with the company, and she wanted to do something with it. She was even looking for some tax breaks if possible. She was also looking at maybe using that money as an investment for her long term. So there's a couple different scenarios there. But the other thing that she wanted to look at was long-term care coverage. Now, I will tell you that we've shopped long-term care coverage policies in the past, and there are just fewer and fewer providers are offering it. It's incredibly expensive. It's becoming more and more restrictive. So we have a tendency to look at more of these hybrid products than direct long-term care policies. But so in her scenario, when she laid all this out, we introduced her to this hybrid product. Now, what we wound up doing with her was we chose a permanent policy. Now, that's going to contradict what I said in my first video, which in all reality, her need for life insurance to take care of her 2 employees really was about a 15-year term. Maybe 20-year might have been a better fit. But she wanted really that coverage to only be there until she sold her company. So term insurance made the most sense, but when we looked at the bigger picture, it actually made more sense to do permanent policy. So we crafted a $1 million permanent policy for her. Again, she's going to make premium payments for 10 years, and the premium in this case was about $66,000 a year. She technically would make the premium payment out of her own checking account. The company then was going to reimburse her that premium payment, which was in her case, maybe not in every case, but in her case, a tax deduction to her. Now, inside that life insurance policy, as she's making these premium payments over the 10 years, she's creating cash value, which if you go back to week 2, we talked about sometimes permanent life insurance policies can be used as an investment vehicle. So that was a second solution she wanted to cover was, is there a way to take this money and have it grow in value? So we used, again, this cash value to appreciate in value, and then she could use it later on in life as more of a distribution mode from an investment account. So it's a great solution. And again, there was a tax break to her in her scenario in this situation. The third situation that we wanted to look at was the long-term care piece. Now, what we did was we added a long-term care provision on this policy that in fact would give her $20,000 a month for the rest of her life should she qualify for the long-term care need. So if you think about that, this is the hybrid product we're talking about. She had multiple goals she wanted to accomplish. She needed a death benefit. She was interested in having excess cash flow more invested for her, and was also looking for a tax break if that was possible. And then third, she was looking for a long-term care solution so that should she need it, there was funds available to her that would pay her long-term care coverage. Now let's recap this policy. It's a great solution for her. It might be a great solution for you if you're in the need for these scenarios. We had death benefit of $1 million. We had the premium payments. We know what they are. They're set for 10 years. And there's a tax benefit to her, but those premium payments are invested into a cash value account, and those cash value accounts appreciate over time. And then she has access to those funds later in life should she want to as part of an investment account. And then third, we had the long-term care component that provides her a sum of money every month for the rest of her life should she need it. So it's a great solution. Again, that's sort of a mixture of a couple different goals and needs that we solved with one policy. So if you've got questions on this policy, any hybrid products, or if you're out shopping long-term care policies or life insurance policies, make sure you give us a call at the number that's going to pop up here on the screen. You can come in for a 1-hour complimentary meeting with me or any of my staff by going to the website, FamilyWealthPlanningPartners.com, clicking on the icon right there on the first page or the main page that says schedule a meeting. You can schedule a meeting with with anybody on our staff. And if you've got any questions on this, please give us a call. Next week, we're going to start a brand new series, but that's it for this week. Look forward to seeing you next week.